Brews. It's your girl Pete, and I'm here with Chef Courtney Lindsay.
What's up? What's up? Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me at your
Absolutely.
restaurant, Mo Brunch and Brews.
Welcome.
Vegan breakfast, brunch,
All of the above.
coffee,
Yeah.
matcha, vinyls.
Yes.
So obviously I know what a vinyl is, but like, what is that? Are you playing vinyls throughout the day, or is that like a separate experience?
Yeah, so we're not actually playing vinyls. Like that was the idea. It's like,
Okay.
oh yeah, we have a record player set up and play your favorite vinyls, but we have a crate that you can dig through and collect.
fun.
Yeah. So for collectors, so you can find rare vinyls. We got some range from $1 to $20, and then we have some more rare vinyls that are posted on the wall, and they range from like $40 to $60. So it's just some very rare finds in terms of digging through the crates.
Oh, cute.
Yep.
Okay, I like that. You're an Army veteran.
Yep.
You're a chef.
Huh.
You're a filmmaker.
Yeah, that's a good one.
How do you say the word restaurateur?
Restaurateur.
Restaurateur.
Mm-hmm.
What else did I miss? Well, husband, dad,
Yeah.
son, which we'll get into. You don't know why I'm saying it like that, but you will. Brother, do you have
Yeah.
siblings?
We have sisters, all sisters, no
Okay.
brothers.
What else? Did I miss an incredible title?
Entrepreneur, I guess, all
Okay.
around. Yeah. Opened up a thrift shop, a vintage shop called Daily Threads.
You did open it, or it's
I'm
opening?
opening.
Okay.
Yeah. Pump the brakes and slow down, baby. No. But it's coming though. But we have a shop full of clothes, and we just carefully sorting through them and curating some of the best finds that we can put out there for the
I'm
people.
excited for that. Is it going to be in
Yeah.
the same area of town as Mo Brunch and
Pretty
Brews?
close, maybe about 10 minutes away. So
Okay.
yeah. On like the South Union, Riverside Terrace area.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a thrifter.
Come on, we got some stuff.
These are thrifted. These
Yeah.
camo pants are size
Nice.
42 men's,
Hey,
and then take them in to be
let me
tailored.
tell you though. Let me tell you, and there's nothing wrong with that, because one time I had a beautiful pair of pants. I'm like, oh man, these pants fit perfect. And then I pulled them off to check the size. I say, who knew I was a woman's 18? Who knew? Who knew?
Oh my God, that's
Because I'm reaching like, where are the pockets at on these pants? Who knew?
That is so funny. Oh my God. And you still love them just
Oh
the
yeah,
same.
fit great. Yeah, I'm just waiting to wear them.
Great.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to wear them.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm excited about that. We're gonna get into a lot. We're gonna get into your documentary, Finding Ben. I'm so excited about that. That's why I'm saying son with exclamation points, because he is a son who found his dad. Loved the friggin' documentary. First, what is your
Welcome to Adultish Wines Podcast, where we're grown enough to pay bills, but messy enough to still text our exes. Grab a glass of wine and let's get adultish.
What is your favorite thing on the menu, and what is the most popular thing on the menu at Mo Brunch and Brews?
My favorite thing on the menu at Mo Brunch and Brews would have to be the chicken fried shrooms and grits.
Yum.
Yeah, grits taste like somebody's great granny cooked them. It's just built with flavor, garlic cream, and all of the other, like, just the most savory thing that you can think of. And I think it's also one of the most popular things. You
Okay.
know what?
So you got good taste.
It's either that, and then we also have a boudin sushi roll. A boudin sushi roll. Yeah, that's one of the most popular things too. Yeah,
Yum.
I know, right? You want to eat
That's
some?
good. Yeah. Well, I came here to meet you a few weeks ago, and I did get the matcha, and it was friggin' delicious.
All right, let's go.
But definitely gonna come back here.
Come on.
Work, bring my little computer on your patio. It's so cute.
Yep.
Over in Museum District.
Yep, absolutely.
And you open at 8 every morning.
8
The
a.m.
nighttime hours vary, right?
Yeah. So Tuesday through Thursday we close at 3 p.m. And then Friday we go up to 10, because we do DJs, we do live music, so it goes through seasons. So once it gets a little chillier, then we go switch to DJ, and then when it get really cold in Houston, which we never know what time that
Well,
is.
really, it's January 14th. It's the weekend of my
Yeah,
birthday.
yeah.
I
So,
remember every year.
I'm January 20th too. So
Oh,
I'm right
okay.
behind you.
Yeah.
But as soon as it gets a little cold, then we just kind of chill on the live performances until the spring.
Nice. And you do have wine and beer, and we're drinking an elderberry
Elderberry.
mimosa, right?
Mhm.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, I didn't do this. You Houstonians.
Tap.
Why? Why do we tap? Why do you tap?
I don't know. We just been doing it.
Who started it? And why did
I would like to say me and my friends started it, but everybody would say the same thing. So
That's funny. Yeah, I just refuse to do it because I'm not gonna
It's
do it
cut,
every time.
tap down, and you hit it.
I do it with shots.
Yeah, I don't
Not
take
that I take
shots.
shots that
Yeah, yeah, I was
often.
about to say, yeah, I don't take shots. I think I'm too old for
Sometimes a
shots.
little tequila. How old are you?
I'm 41. I'll be 40. I'll be
41.
42. I'm about to be 42, January 20th. Yeah.
Oh my
So I
gosh.
don't know, man. I don't know. I'm getting up there. Yeah.
No.
But
You're in
40,
your prime.
I feel good though. 40 was my best year.
Okay.
40 was my best year. When I turned 40, I'm like, oh, this is great. I like how it feels.
Okay, I
40
like to
shoes
hear
feel
that.
good. Yeah.
I say I prefer getting older. I feel like I get better with age.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've never been as healthy, I've never looked better, like my quality of life is good, the
Mm-hmm.
people I'm surrounded by, good, good, good.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
was I thinking life was at
Come on.
18,
Wait till you
20,
get to 40.
21?
Winers, as y'all know, sometimes we talk about hard things on the pod, and the stigma around mental health is one of them. That's why I'm so happy to have BetterHelp Therapy as a sponsor. There's no shame in the therapy game. You don't need to have a serious clinical mental health issue like depression or anxiety to go to therapy. You can just be a regular human with regular humanish to figure out. Therapy can even just help you with everyday tools for everyday life. BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy more affordable and accessible. I know finding a therapist can be the most intimidating step of starting this journey, and the benefit of BetterHelp is that it's online, remote, and you get matched with a professional therapist within days. Use the link in the description of this episode or go to betterhelp.com/adultish. It's so easy, you will not regret it. Don't be scared if you don't love the first therapist you're matched with, you can easily switch. That's one of the things I was worried about. When I tell my whole life story to one person, I have to switch to another one because I'm not really getting along. So this one, you don't have to worry about the network, the insurance, blah, blah, blah. So if you need an unbiased professional to vent to, or whether you have anxiety, PTSD, depression, or family issues, I think BetterHelp is a great place to start. Click the link in the episode description or go to betterhelp.com/adultish for 10% off your first month. Love you, Winers.
21.
Wait
Yeah,
till you get to 40.
I'm close. I'm 35.
Come on. I'm waiting for you.
So I'm on the end of that roll there. Let's go to a wine of the week first from my listeners.
Okay.
And I feel like maybe you could have some thoughts around this because I know you recently have grown your family.
Mm-hmm.
So this person, Jhai Year, said, "Love the holidays, but also don't because my family has no boundaries." So, I mean, for me, I don't really have that big of a family, and we really don't do like most of my holidays are spent with like more of like my friends that I consider family, and so that doesn't really apply to me.
Yeah, yeah.
But you have
So
any
it's
issues with that?
not really,
Okay.
because I have a pretty close knit family, and it's a lot of us, especially my mom's side. So we're always getting together, always on top of each other, um, just always around in each other's spaces.
Well, that sounds like no boundaries.
I mean, but it's like, and I think that person, maybe he or she feels that way, because maybe they're introverted, or of some sort, or maybe the personality, is kind of different. But a lot of times you kind of see that in like a marriage type relationship, because if I'm married to a spouse, her family may be a little less cohesive than mine, or vice versa.
Right.
And then I can see how that could be a problem. But if that's the family that you were raised in, come on, man, you know what time it is. It's just family time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So you just gotta suck it up.
You just gotta suck it up. You
And
know what time.
put
Put your boundaries
your
up,
own boundaries
and
up.
just
Who
say,
cares what they do?
oh, I gotta go somewhere. See
Yeah,
y'all.
it's time. It's
You can
time.
always leave.
Yeah, true. Okay, let's just get straight into finding Ben. So I met you, I guess at this point a few weeks ago at through Isaac Yeoman. He had the short film Sincerely Brad. You were doing a dual screening with yourself and Finding Ben at the Regal Cinemas
Yeah.
in River Oaks, and I was so excited.
Mm-hmm.
I left so fulfilled.
Yeah.
I left that theater so fulfilled. One, because I just really got what Isaac was talking about on the podcast. If you guys haven't checked that out, go listen. And stay tuned for how you can potentially see Sincerely Brad, the full thing one day. But I left so fulfilled seeing your story. So at 38, right,
Yeah.
you decided that you were going to look for your dad.
Yeah. Well, 38 is when I realized that I had a dad out there.
Right.
That
Talk to
I
me
didn't
about
know.
it.
Yeah. So at 38, I had questions, about who my real dad was. Now I had a so-called biological father, and we never really quite connected. I probably seen him maybe 3 times in my childhood.
Okay.
All right. And so it was just kind of spotty, hit or miss. I remember one time I was 15. No, I was 15. And I was in the ninth grade and I was about to be 15. So it's in ninth grade and my mom said, hey, I just found your dad, again, and he wants to spend the holidays with you. I'm like, okay, go spend holidays. And so a lot of times in certain people's I guess social economic background, if your birthday is too close to Christmas you got to pick one.
Yeah.
So he was like, well, listen, I know your birthday is in a few weeks. I get your gift on your birthday, and this is Christmas week, right? And in 1998, the only thing that a young kid wants is uh polo boots and a leather jacket.
Polo boots.
Polo boots and a leather jacket, and everybody that know, that hear me saying, they know what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
Polo boots and a leather bomber jacket, and I was gonna be the man in that grade, right? And so he was like, "Hey, I got your gift, but I'm gonna give it to you on your birthday." I'm fine with that. My birthday came and went, and I didn't get a call from him, and that kind of shaped who I became as a man, and how I kind of handle people. It was I handle people in a way that, hey, you say you're gonna be here. If you're not, cool. If you are, cool. I'm gonna be kind of continue to move forward and do my thing, whether you show up or not. And I didn't hold over people's heads because I know people are fickle, right? And I lived life through that. And I didn't see him again. That was ninth grade. I didn't see him again until I graduated high school. Graduated high school, my first year of college. I seen him again, found him, and he was like, hey, let me do something. Let me help you out. I'm like, I'm good because again, as a young scarred, boy, I don't want to set myself up. I'm good. He was like, just let me, I said, okay, fine, I need some money for books. He said, okay, what's the date? I told him the date. The date came and went, and I didn't talk to him again for another 4 years until I graduated college.
Wow.
And so that was kind of like the relationship between a so-called biological father.
Yeah.
And so when I was 38, he died.
Oh, okay.
I buried him, with the family, helped out. It was all that, and it was fine. I couldn't really feel that much for him because I didn't
Like
really
the
know him
loss.
exactly. Yeah,
Mhm.
it just was another motion that was kind of happening, and that was the thing. And so I had already had those doubts about him not being my father. So I was like, it was what it is. And then I had a relative that kind of blew it out of the water, and she called me and on three-way on speakerphone and kind of blew it up and was like, "Hey, did your mother ever tell you who your real father was?" I'm like, "What?" And then she's like, "Well, she's on speaker and she can you can talk to her right now." I'm like, "No, that's not the way to do it." But from that point, I had questions and I had to realize, I mean, I was faced
What
with the
good self-control, and sorry, you talked about this in the
yeah,
documentary, but, like, all I was thinking about was, like, what good self-control, because if I would've been like, "Tell me right now,"
yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
you're a
Yeah.
very seem like a patient.
Yeah, I think life has kind of like allowed me to slow down. Now, I am also very like, go impulsive risk taker because I think that entrepreneurial spirit in me, if we didn't have a little bit of like insanity or a little, like
Mhm,
had a few wires loose, we wouldn't be able to do some of the things we did because we would always second guess the thing so that, we don't want to fail at the thing, right?
mhm,
And then a lot of times, some of the things that we try to do, like you would probably never started a podcast if you second guess yourself every time. You gotta have somebody probably said, she crazy if she gonna think she gonna start a podcast right now in the middle
mhm,
of, pandemic and while this stuff is happening and then it's gonna keep going for the next 4 years or 5 years, right?
mhm.
They'd be like, she's crazy. They say, man, you crazy. You think somebody gonna buy vegan food? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And or you think you're gonna survive, grow your family, have more kids, have more houses, and all these things. And then you also don't have, health insurance because you're entrepreneur and because of these things and these things. So it's like those kind of risks have to be there, right?
Mhm,
And so it also has taught me to like to calm down, pull back, and also consider others. Right. I knew that my mom, would be affected by that kind of news. You know what I mean? Or would be affected by that relative saying that stuff or like kind of blowing out of proportion prematurely.
Yeah.
But sometimes, you got to sit back and thank God for um, the people that caused that kind of
True.
disruption. You know what I mean? Because if she hadn't, we probably would have continued to move in silence and skirt around some of the obvious truths. You know. And so I think that's where that self control and that poise comes from. Just
Yeah.
kind of trusting in God, knowing that that's not gonna send me over the edge. Let me look at this thing from a more graceful, perspective.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so 38,
38. Yeah,
your life gets blown up a little bit, but you
just a
weren't
little bit.
sure, like, and so then the next day,
Yeah, I have a conversation with my mom. She said, "Well, it could be these, names." I'm like, "Okay," and I still didn't really want to look because I just did not want to find somebody that that would suck more life and energy out of me than we could kind of put into each other.
like it could have been a risk. Like you're pretty happy and content and fulfilled in your life, and like maybe we don't need to chance what this could
Yeah,
unravel.
I just didn't have enough space as an entrepreneur, as a husband, as a dad. I didn't have enough space in my life for some more problems. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want to like inherit more problems, and especially problems that I felt like I didn't need. I feel like I was successful. I feel like I'm good at being a man. I'm good at being a father. I'm good at some of these things, and I'm good on adding any unnecessary stress to my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so it's like, do that? Why would I scratch that, that sore and so it can bleed and get infected, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I'm good, but my wife, kept pressing, kept pushing. And so it was 2 years until I actually,
Wow.
decided to go ahead and look.
What made your wife so passionate about like wanting to back you?
I think it was my two boys, one of them is chocolate, one of them is caramel. You know what I mean? One of them has kind of like coarse curly hair, the other one is wavy curly hair. So she's just like, where did this one come from? Who does he look like? What kind of
Mm-hmm.
hair texture? Where did he get that from? Where does like so we just kind of like looking at them, and then she's just like, I want them to know where they came from. And my reasoning for not really wanting to know is one, I didn't feel like selfish. I didn't want to put that on me, you know what I mean? And then the second part of that is like, for what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm literally like, I'm good, you know what I mean? And again, I just don't want to find a rich butthole, a poor butthole, just all of the things. I'm like,
Any buttholes?
yeah, I'm just like, I'm good, man, I'm good, but she was very persistent, praying, and then she had a friend, a college mate, no, old high school buddy that found his dad. And so she was like, "Look at this beautiful story. Yeah, look at
This
him.
could be us.
Yeah. This could be you and your dad."
Yeah.
I'm like, no. But,
Yeah.
she kind of got me on like the DNA ancestry type of avenue. And I'm like, what could it hurt? Yeah.
And so you did it.
And so I did it.
Pulled
Yeah.
off the band-aid.
Yeah. It took about 10 days to track him down after that.
I think that seems relatively quick.
Oh, that was real quick. Yeah. Yeah.
After 40
Yeah.
years?
Yeah. That was very, very quick. Yeah. Hmm.
Something that you've said already a couple times in the podcast, and you said it at the screening that I saw, and you said it in the documentary, is I'm good. I'm really
Because I'm
good.
good.
And I think that's what really struck me.
Hmm.
I grew up without a father figure. My mom was present-ish. She did have some drug issues. My grandparents helped her raise us, but like love my mom so much. But anyway, um, there were so many things I look back on, and I say it with full conviction, by the way. Like I still stand by. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm really good. Like I remember when I asked my mom to get off drugs, and then I thought to myself, I'm good because like my volleyball's over. I don't need you to pack me lunch anymore. Like, what are you gonna do for me now? Like, honestly, like,
I'm good.
I'm good. Like people say, would you ever want to reach out to your dad? And he's just done some horrible things, and so
Mhm.
my answer truly is no. But I'm no, I'm
Yeah.
good. Or like cousins or things. I'm like, I'm so full of love. I'm
Yeah.
good. And so when you kept saying that, I was like, wow, that just like I really resonated with
But
that.
you know, like I
And
said
the
that.
fact that after
Yeah, 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 yeah.
go
I
into
said how good I
yeah.
am, but you really don't know how good you really are until you get another piece and you like, okay, now I'm good. You know what I
Right.
mean? Regardless to how who this person is, how flawed he may be or she may be, like then you realize, oh, I probably could have used that the whole time. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
that was probably something I was missing. I had no idea, that I
Yeah.
was missing the entire
It's
time.
like a a layer of protection I think that you put up without even knowing it. Like I
Yeah.
know I believe that you were good.
Yeah, yeah,
Believe
I
it.
thought so too. I mean,
Right.
I'm like, man, I'm good. I don't need a daddy. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I had a stepfather, and my stepfather treated me like a stepchild. However, I'm grateful, for what he did for me.
Mhm.
Right? Uh, we always had food in the house. Didn't abuse me. Like taught me, very like critical lessons about being a man. Taught me those lessons in his actions and in some of the things that he didn't do, you know what I mean, as
Mhm.
well, right? So some of the things that his shortcomings, I'm like, okay, I won't not be there for my kids this way. I'll be there better than that, you know what I mean? So it's just the example that I saw in him. He taught me how to be and how not to be just in some of his actions.
Mhm.
And again, that relationship is not wasn't the best. I left home when I was 16, you know. And again, I still took away so many life lessons in that. And I had a stepbrother, his son. We with no blood relation, but we lived in the same house together. And my stepfather was like, "All right, I want y'all to, go dig a garden, and we go out there and we dig in this big garden and turning over Texas clay, and it's hot outside and all of the things." And his son, who he has his father right there, just griping, complaining, mad, upset, just all kind of spite building up in him. And I'm like, man, shut up. We just doing work. But that taught me how to do work and do it in a way that I don't want to have to come do this again. So it taught me how to do work good. You know what I mean? It taught me how to be a diligent worker. It taught me how to complete tasks. It taught me how to not take shortcuts. All those things from having somebody that was tough or super disciplinary,
Mhm.
and the love part is like, I'll find that another way. You know what I mean? Or I'll supplement that in the lessons that or in the affection and lack of affection that I got from him.
Mm.
Right. And so I think people take, the expression glass half full or glass half empty.
Mhm.
It's still the same, but it's just the perspective in which you look at that glass, right? I can say, oh man, I only got half of my drink left. Or I can say, oh man, I only got half a drink left.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And so it's like just the perspective. And I think that, if people kind of change the perspective in which their circumstances happen, it's probably a blessing that your dad wasn't in your life at the time when you feel like you would have needed him, right?
Yeah.
But it might be a blessing that he come back into your life at this time. I'm not
True.
saying that that's
Yeah, yeah,
your
yeah,
your
but there
story,
is
but
always
you think about those types of dynamics, right?
yeah.
I'm grateful that Ben wasn't in my life when I was a child, and I probably needed him because he wasn't ready to be a father to me. Nor was I ready to be a son to him. You see what
Mm.
I'm saying? I'm glad my so-called biological father wasn't in my life and was so spotty because had I taken heed to some of the lessons that he had to give me or he had to teach me, I probably would have turned out a different type of man. You know what I mean? And not for the better. You
Yeah,
know,
who knows? And it really is so crazy that like one small step to the left, step to the right, back, front, you get a whole different life ahead of you.
man.
You choose one step to the left,
Or you just
you
have
start
the
being,
wrong example.
a kind of
Yeah,
a shitty kid because your dad didn't get you, never followed up and
yeah.
didn't pay attention to you. You start acting out and doing all that kind of stuff.
All those things. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, kudos to you and your mom. And, the people that did,
Hmm.
and again, really yourself,
Yeah.
or just stay in the path.
And and honestly, I lived a lot of life. I feel like I live enough life for like about 5 or 6 men.
Yeah, no, we would
You
have to do
know,
like a whole season on your life.
I've
When I met
just
you,
done some stuff. You know.
yeah, it's so cool.
But I think it was just like the resilient part of not giving up on the possibilities of what could be, right?
Mhm.
And also extending grace to people and circumstances, right? And what I mean by the circumstance is the circumstance that I was in by having a stepfather, then leaving my house at 16, it was a circumstance. But let me give that circumstance grace and find the good in that, right? The circumstance that your father wasn't there was, a crappy dad. Give that situation grace because, like, look how you turned out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was a little bit due to him or the like the without what I'm trying to say it's the lack thereof,
For
right?
sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, so you turned out this way, the lack thereof, right?
No, 100%. My
You
three
see what I'm
sisters
saying?
and
So
I,
grateful, right?
yeah,
Be
no,
grateful for that,
think
right?
about it all the time that
Yeah,
I really am thankful for the life. I'm thankful for
yeah,
my grandparents, even though they
yeah.
were
That
tough.
too.
I didn't know what love. I knew what love was, but it was conditional. You know, it was like do the right thing,
Hmm.
and you'll get a pat on the back. But
Hey, man.
you know what I mean. But like now as an adult, I can unpack that and I can understand where it came from, and I can be grateful for the circumstances. But
Absolutely.
um, it is interesting to think about where our lives would be
Yeah.
with other influences or other
Uh-huh.
opportunities. So you met Ben, and he was not a butthole.
No. Far from it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh, he just looks like the best human in that documentary.
Mm-hmm.
A loving man.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about like hopefully how you can see this again one day, but
Mm.
meeting him for the first time and continuing that relationship. Can you talk a little bit about just
Yeah.
the dynamic with you and with your wife Chastity
Mhm.
and your children?
Yeah. So, from the moment we first spoke, it was just complete and utter love,
Oh, you guys look exactly alike by the way.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you'll
yeah,
see.
yeah. And it's no denying that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like I'm looking at him, the first picture that I received of him, I'm holding up in the mirror and I'm like, man, well, I'm looking at my chin, my teeth, like the wrinkles in my forehead, and I'm just looking in the mirror, and I'm looking at, me 20 years older, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? And so I'm like, God, dog, I'm like, I done messed around and found my dad, like what the heck, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, and so like that first meeting in person was like I'm not extremely emotional because, I've had this exterior, this crust built up, this layer of protection, if you will, just to kind of, not put that out there too
Mhm.
soon. You know what I mean? But it was a very intimate and like, loving like first meeting, and we just got a chance to like catch up like old friends and look each other over and look at each other hands, and I'm looking at his face up front, and he looking at me, and and he just found moments of like joy and happiness, and just like you said, you were full. Like he was like, man, I'm full. This is a full feel, like I'm full, and so to have a reception like that, and to be welcomed into a family, into a lineage that way, it was an amazing and new feeling for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I had
Amazing.
never felt that type of love before.
Just from the first meeting.
Yeah, yeah. From just
You could just feel
and
it.
a father's like a father's love. I don't even know what that felt like until I met him. Seriously.
Sorry, my eyes are watering.
Come on.
And I did cry in the theater. It's such a beautiful story. We're gonna say it at the end, but you
Hmm.
are doing another screening,
Yes, yes.
December 19th.
December 19th. Yeah,
Okay, in
yeah.
Houston.
In Houston, at Match Theater. Yeah, right in
Okay.
Midtown.
Okay. I was gonna ask how do we get this so everyone can see it?
I mean, honestly, the best way to do it is to follow
Because
us.
I left the theater wanting
Yeah,
to share
yeah,
it.
yeah. And so we want to be able to get it out to as many people as possible, but we also want to do that in the most responsible way, right?
Okay.
Because it takes, funds to show this film, as opposed to putting it online and streaming it and watering down the experience, right?
Yeah,
The
true.
experience that you had
True.
watching it was, if you would have watched that like on your iPad or on your phone or just casting it to your TV, you'd be like,
I
it was
mean,
beautiful, but it's like, think about how much harder it would hit in a theater. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And so like that's the experience that you want to be able to like kind of share, because
right.
the type of emotion that I felt and we've all felt while we were filming this project. Um, just don't think that a screen would do it justice. A handheld would do it justice.
Right.
A TV screen, 80-inch would
Okay,
do
I
it
respect
justice,
that.
right? Yeah, and
Yeah.
so that's why we want to make sure that we put it in venues or platforms to where we can put it on the big screen, allow people to nestle into a seat, and really get ready to connect with the film, and from hearing it visually and from the audio wise, like to be able to like experience this film in its fullness and
Mhm.
its totality, and really walk away with, redemptive feelings, healing feelings, joy,
Mm. All of those things, yeah.
all of the things, all
More,
of the roller
I
coaster.
wanted more,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, I wanna
yeah,
know, I
yeah.
mean, I wanted more. I walked up to you and I said, "Can you please be on my podcast? I wanna know more." Yeah, it's just such a touching story, and, I don't know, did you expect it to resonate with so many different kinds of people so far?
You know, yes and no, right? I just thought that I was telling a story that was, beautifully crafted by God, and that happened to be a beautiful love story. And again, the type of feeling that I walked around with and still walk around with, just like I fell in love with a man, just like that. And then to experience that type of love, that fatherly love, that unconditional love,
Mhm.
here on earth is new to me. And so to be able to express that in this film, and then also show people that, and allow them to experience that, that's the part, that still like shocks me when people come out. Of course, it's a tearjerker. I'm like, yeah, you might want to get your tissue,
For sure.
but when people come up and they say, "Hey, I'm 40 as well, and I also just found my father, and I'm trying to figure out how to navigate, building a relationship, trying to figure out how to navigate allowing this parent or this, this mother or father
Mhm.
to like try to parent me at 40 or at 38 or whatever, because they still
Yeah.
will, like because the only thing they know how to be is an older parent of sort, right?
Yeah.
And so it's moments where I've caught myself. I'm like, who you think you talking to?
Right.
But in my mind, I'm like, and it's just only a split second, and I'm like, he can have that. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
what is it gonna gain me to say back to him? Who you think you talking to, man? I'm 40. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's not gonna give me anything, right? And I think that it gives him more, than it would give me
Mm.
by me acquiescing and let him have that moment and teach me something.
Mm.
Share with me his experience in life. Give me some nuggets or some jewels that he may feel is important for me to have at 40 years old. Okay, I'll take that,
Yeah.
and I take the good, and process it, use it, and the stuff that that's not the most useful, then I say, all right, well, cool. I
Yeah.
didn't need that part,
Right.
and that's what we do in life anyway, right?
Mhm.
You take the good in, you take what you was useful, you use that information, and then you get rid of the rest, right?
Do
So,
you think you would have made a documentary if it hadn't turned out so loving? Do you think you would have?
I don't know because the love is what allowed the story to continue to grow, to blossom, to mature, to just have legs, right? I think had it been a negative encounter, I don't think it would have had enough weight, for me to just kind of continue to grow,
Mhm.
right? And what I mean by it is the way that I kind of live my life is, um, if something affects me and it's negative, I'm not carrying that with me, right? I feel like that in order for a story to be told, to be ingested, and then like spewed out there, like it would have to affect you, in some type of way, profoundly,
Mhm.
in a negative way. You know what I mean? Like it would have to like affect you for you to be able to go and tell this story to somebody else,
Right.
right? So if it was a negative encounter, or if it wasn't as loving, I wouldn't have been able to like take that because I would have got rid of it, right? What I was at the time that I decided to reach out or even look for him, I was open to whatever this person was going to be, right? And for me to be open, it was open to a negative person, a positive person, a great person, about whatever, all of the things, whatever he may be. I was open to that, right? And so I was also open to let me figure out who he is, what he is, how he's gonna be, and then I'll determine whether I have room in my life to put him in a space
Yeah.
in my life, right? So we can grow, right? Or not.
Yeah.
So that was the way I looked at it,
Okay.
right? So yeah, if it was a negative encounter, I probably would have just found him, look like me, good, and I would have walked away.
Good. Yeah.
Because why would I have to subject my kids, to that
Yeah.
if it wasn't gonna be a positive thing,
Right.
right?
Right.
You know.
No, nobody would
Yeah.
knowingly bring negative
Yeah.
or allow negativity to fester.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
My
so
my
that makes
kids don't have
sense.
to know, they don't have to experience that, didn't have to experience anything like that, so they probably won't ever have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is one way that meeting your dad and now having him in your life that you've become a better father?
Um, I'm more patient,
Okay.
you know, because you know, and I'm more patient and I'm more hands-on. But I was already on like the route to being more present. And I say that like because I've always been there. But as an entrepreneur, I'm always moving, always working, always on the go. And it was a good friend of mine, him and his wife, they unschooled their kids, right? You ever heard of that?
No, what's that mean?
Unschooled, like it's homeschool, but it's not homeschool, right? So they don't follow like a super rigorous curriculum,
Okay.
but like their life experiences are what teach their kids.
Oh, I've never heard it called that, but I think I
Mhm.
do know people that.
Yeah. So basically, like they do real estate, and so the kids they have to talk to the plumber, have to talk to the electrician, have to like do those things, so they learn how to live
Oh no,
life.
I've not heard of this.
One of the kids, he does photography, so he has a photography business. And he takes all of the photography for social media, for their social media, for as a family. They all play sports, so he takes a photography for all of the athletes, and so he's built a business that way. Another one, he likes to cook, so he also plays football, but he also likes to cook, so he does meal prep and playing. So like they're learning business and learning how the world works, from unschooling,
Whoa.
and so they take trips, and it's like, but
Because honestly, some of the things
yeah, now they still
my
do
biggest
learn.
gripe is like in school, like why are we taking this egg home to let it like I do not need to prove that I can keep a friggin' egg
Instead, go
alive.
take the dog out.
Yeah, take the dog out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, so I went and spent the week with them, and I just kind of like watched, how he interacts with his kids, and I'm like, man, all of these this big, super busy schedule, and he still finds time every single day. They do their lessons, they do all these things. I'm like, I need to do more, with my little family. You know what I mean? And so I came home, and I told my wife, I'm like, hey, I'll wake up with the kids because I know they stress you out. So I'll get them up for school every morning and I'll do these things. So I just started, making these different little changes. And it's been almost like 2 years. And every day, I get up with the kids and get them ready and let them fuss. And, I'll fuss back and get over
Yeah,
here and,
yeah, yeah.
brush your teeth, all of the things that stressed my wife out before. She don't have to do that. And I take on that because it's like the importance of like them having to have a father, be there, be hands on like that. You know what I mean? Like we
Mm-hmm.
didn't really get that growing up, right? So if I could do that, and my kids were like, yeah, my dad was wake us up every morning. You know what I mean?
Because
So
then
you change it.
you're not just the authority in the house. You are the loving
Yeah,
presence,
yeah,
and you
all
are.
other things, man.
Yeah.
Like we all are meant to like coexist and like to work together, especially the spouses, right? We supposed to work together as opposed to just like I'm the bad guy, she the bad guy. He's the nice guy.
100%.
All of the
Yeah.
things. So we share that. You know what I mean? And so, but finding Ben, and the love that he has, you know, just without ceasing, is just kind of like I fuss but they my kids because I got to fuss at them, right? I got to
Mm-hmm.
create synthetic struggles. Yeah, yeah. Take his trash out. No. Why can't I watch TV, Daddy? Because I said so. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I got to create those things, right? But it's also like, man, come here. You know what I mean? And I shout them with love and affection. Not that I didn't before, but it's more intentional, to be able to like to be with them. And then I'm more open and vulnerable with my wife as well.
I was
So
gonna ask
all of the
that. Yeah.
things, yeah, yeah. So it just kind of opens you up to be this different, it's like this butterfly, just kind of come up out of this cocoon, and you get to be free and vulnerable.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Amazing. I know. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're not quite done yet, but December 19th, Match
Uh-huh.
Theater in
Hmm.
Houston. Single screening.
Yeah.
It's about what, 45 minutes, an hour?
50 minutes.
50.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll do a panel afterwards. And then we'll kind of just kind of talk and kind of unpack,
I'm
the
probably gonna have to
film.
go again.
You should. You
Yeah.
should and bring a
No,
friend.
I will.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
my friend that I was with, we were like, how do we see that again? She wanted to show her husband, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah,
I'm not being dramatic or anything. Like this is
yeah.
definitely something that you should see. It's just beautiful. And by the way, just like the production is
Mhm.
beautiful. So, we're done with Finding Ben ish. How did you're a film like you're a filmmaker in the
I know,
you
right?
were in the art you were in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
not army. Was
I
it
was in the
army?
army. Yeah,
Army,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I went to Texas Southern University.
Yeah.
I met my wife there in Theater 101.
Okay.
We both were, and we were just friends though. But we both were in telecommunications. So we were radio and television production majors.
Okay.
I went to the army. I was a combat camera production specialist. So
So cool.
I know, right? I was doing some fun stuff. So I was still doing still photography, videography in the army. When I got, and I also loved cooking as well. Fun fact: our first year in marriage, I came back home, came back to Texas, married my wife, moved her to Maryland to my new duty station, and the first like week we were there, she made a uh, chopped basket, like a Food Network chopped the show.
Yeah.
So she made a chopped basket for me to
Okay.
like like a surprise mystery basket. I had
Oh,
to cook
okay,
all of the
okay.
stuff in the basket. The
Oh my
worst
god,
chopped
cute.
basket. No, it was
Oh.
the worst basket I ever seen in my life. I mean, it was just so terrible, man. It was like chayote squash in there that and I'm like, what is this? It was the most terrible basket I ever seen in my life. And I think maybe fast forward maybe 20 plus years later, I got an opportunity to be on Chopped.
That is so
Last year. Yeah, yeah,
cool.
yeah. So I was like, man, it's just like and I was 40. I was 40. Remember I told you
Wow,
40 was
40.
that was a good year. 40 was I was on Chop and I found my father. And I went on a
Rank
dream.
them, rank them. Just kidding, just kidding.
Yeah, yeah. So, but no, but it was like that kind of milestones,
Yeah.
are some of the things that we just kind of been experiencing, and yeah, man, life has just been fun. But to be married to me, my wife is just like, me strap up my boots, because you just never know, which direction we're gonna head
Yeah.
in.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's so cool. I asked you earlier if you were thinking of ever having more Brunch and Brews locations, and you gave this analogy, and I really liked it. So
yeah.
go ahead, say it again.
So it was the analogy of a bonsai tree.
Mhm.
Bonsai tree, 20 years old, 1 foot tall, next to some, pecan tree or oak tree that's, 4 or 5 years old, but, standing 30 feet tall. Um, Gust of wind come through, knock that 30-foot tall tree down because it's not as stable as the 25-year-old bonsai tree. And I think I liken that to growing our business in a way of the bonsai to where it's deep rooted. It's not the biggest, not the most gargantuan. Doesn't have the 15 locations, but it's one solid location. It doesn't move unless the owner say it has to move.
Mhm.
It's mature, it's seasoned, it treats its limbs well. Our management team and all of the people that make make this thing run. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's pretty locked in, and I think that way we just kind of like make sure that we have a mature business that's here to stay. And then in 15 years, if the opportunity presents itself for us to grow in a more linear, then we grow linear and not up. And so
I love
that's
that analogy. I think it's just like in life, like in dating, in your work, you
yeah,
know what I mean? Like in your
mm-hmm,
relationship, like not everything has to be the biggest, baddest,
yeah,
most attractive or
mm-hmm,
shiny
yeah,
object,
yeah,
like
yeah.
it can be just a stable little guy.
Man, it does this thing. I've been a part of companies, there's just amazing companies to work for, growing fast. We got expense accounts and we doing all the
Mhm.
things and, you know, yeah, all of the things, you know what I mean? And then the infrastructure is just too big for the roots or the foundation and it crumbles. So I've been on the receiving end of that, been in a company like that. Great company, great concept, but it didn't work because of the infrastructure.
Right.
And so just looking at those different things in my life, and I'm just like, okay, bet with this business, again, I've been stressed out for the last 8 to 9 years just trying to just growing a business, opening, different concepts and food trucks and closing them and opening them again, reworking and pivoting and all of the things. And it's like, I'm tired of trying to grow this way. Let me focus on what we do well. Let me do that, and we're gonna grow deep. You
Mhm.
know, and it don't have to be 15 feet high. It could
Yeah.
be 1 foot high bonsai tree that's, growing down.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that allows you to do other things, like you said,
Absolutely.
Daily Threads, the thrift
Absolutely.
store,
Yeah, the
like.
thrift store, just doing things that I enjoy. My wife said, well, as long as you can do the thrift store, as long as it doesn't stress you out. And I was like, all right, good. I'm not stressed out.
All right, don't show your stress.
Yeah. I'm good. I'm fine. I'm good.
I'm good.
No, but truly, I am good. Like, it's no rush to open it up. We're not rushing because we need the money. We rushing. I mean, we taking our time because we want to do it right.
Right.
And I think that part right there, just kind of like resonates in like doing things in a timely manner,
Yeah.
and doing it the right way.
How did your thrifting journey start?
So I've been thrifting since I was, man, since my early 20s.
Okay.
I have suits that I got when I in like in 2005. We would go to the thrift shops and we'll get like these really nice suits, take them to the tailor, and he bust them down, and you put them jokers on, and he's like, oh yeah. And you used to be the best dressed, guys on
Yeah.
campus. And I just been doing that over and over. And I recently got back into thrifting, and I'm like, man, you know what? I think I wanna just like I wanna open up a vintage store, And I found the avenue, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm about to do it. And so I found somebody that does it already,
Mm-hmm.
giving other people an opportunity to. I said, hey man, what's your biggest challenge? Being a vintage procurer. And he was like, I just I had a place and somewhere to stay. I'm like, all right, bet, come to me. I got an idea, and you let that person come in, give them some profit share, let them build something from the ground up. And so a part of it is theirs as well. And so we grow. And that way I'm still free and flexible enough to,
Right.
to do what I need to do. And then this person is responsible for more of the operation stuff. I put together the vision as much as I can. I say, all right, it's yours. Let's
Oh my
figure this thing out. Yeah.
gosh. Very cool. Okay. I'm excited to see
Yeah.
that flourish
Oh yeah.
and support Mo Brunch and Brews, Daily Threads, Finding Ben,
Yeah.
December 19th, Match
Hmm.
Theater. It'll all be in the show notes. Before we go, what's your wine of the week? You don't seem like somebody who really lets things bug them, but what is it?
You know what? I don't though. I
Yeah,
really
something.
don't wine. Let me see.
Something.
If I had to find a wine of the week,
Like, what is like the most annoying thing that a customer comes in here and does and says,
okay. That's a good one
or the
right there.
dog
Cause
or
people
something?
do it all the time. So again, so we're a vegan restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like 80% of our customers are not vegan, right? And then also, the majority of our customers don't know how like business is ran, right? So every now and again we'll get a customer that's like really like a super stickler, and, what kind of oil is that? Is the mushrooms fried in? And it's like, oh, I forget what I told them, but they was like, oh, well, you should probably use grapeseed oil. I'm just like, it don't work like that. You know what I mean? Like grapeseed oil costs like $150 a pill. I'm like, you can't do that. I saying, first of all, you already eating fried food, so you already kind of like cutting yourself right there. So I think that might be one of the things that everybody kind of has a preference. But what I learned in the business is we can't satisfy everybody. We just find that one thing for that customer. Hey man, let me redirect you and put you on this Johnny Nash, which is a little cleaner, not fried. It's a little better for you. Like try that one. You know what I mean? And if you don't like it,
Smart.
I'll give you money back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of redirecting those people. So that'd be my little wine.
Okay, you turned a wine into a
Yeah,
positive.
yeah, I know, right?
Whatever. Okay, did I miss anything?
No, I
Anything
think
you
we
want to
touched on
close
some
with?
stuff. I would just say, if you can walk away with anything that we talked about today, I would say, curiosity, a little bit of just an inkling of something that's like nudging at you. I would just say, just take a step forward, take a risk. Open up your heart a little bit, show the rawness, and just let it be a little vulnerable, and it might work out for you in the end. So just kind of walk through that door.
That's a good thing to end on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you again.
I mean, you gotta tap it. You gotta tap it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, you did twice. Thank you again for coming on. Thank you again for hosting us at Mo Brunch and Brews
Absolutely.
in the Museum District, Houston, Texas. Come check them out. 8 a.m. every morning. Nighttime kind of depends when it gets cold.
Friday night.
Friday night, yeah. Love you, Winers. See you next Thursday. Bye.